Hello everybody and welcome back to About Auto Ballistics. Today we are going to be doing a review on the Ithaca lever action, the model 66, 12 gauge super single. To get started, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of background on Ithaca and how they became Ithaca. Ithaca Gun Company started producing guns in 1883 in New York. It started off as Ithaca Gun Works, and Lyman Cornelius, Leroy Smith, and William Henry Baker started the business in 1877. Baker and Smith left in 1883 and started the gun company. So it wasn't until 1886 that Leroy Smith, and his brother-in-law, George Livermore, bought out Baker's interest. So whenever they bought out Baker's interest, it was Ithaca Guns, LLC, instead of Ithaca Gun Works, because they had to change up the name in order to not have any copywriting issues. 1937, a couple years down the road, the Model 37 was introduced by John Browning, and that was the first gun that Ithaca put into production. And in 1963, we have the Model 66 Super Single, 12 gauge lever action. This was produced from 1963 to 1979. It's a really clean shooting gun, real clean, smooth snap. What makes this unique is instead of just a regular break barrel where you would have the barrel release right here, it's an actual lever action style to break it open. And when you close it, you do still have to pull the hammer back, and when you pull that hammer back, you'll be able to actually release it and fire the round. There's nothing in the barrel, as you guys can see. I'm going to dry fire it one time for you guys. It's a very light trigger pull, especially for that time frame. It was an extremely light trigger pull. Old wood stock. Very well put together. This one is beat up. It's been through the ringer, been in the woods hunting with me. It's been out target practicing. I've had multiple people ask about my guns and why they're so beat up, and some of them are cracked wood stock, scratched up and everything. There's a few guns that I really don't care about and I kind of just throw around. Those are normally the ones that I have duplicates of. If I don't have a duplicate of something, I'm more than likely not going to tear up one of something that I have. But there is a lot of sturdiness with this, and it's a pretty hefty gun. It's got a little bit of a kick, but surprisingly, for 1963 to 79 gun, it's a very clean and accurate 12 gauge. It holds a really tight pattern. I'm shooting about 100 yards. I'll get about a dinner plate size pattern. About 50 yards, I can hit a small plate pattern. It's not a very pretty looking gun, but it is definitely reliable. So after Ithaca brought out the Model 66 that you guys see here, the Super Single 12 gauge, in 1967, the company was sold to General Recreation Incorporated, and in 1987, Ithaca moved to Kings Ferry, New York. And right before that, like I said, in 79, this particular model of 12 gauge stopped production. In 1987, Ithaca moved to Kings Ferry, New York. And in 2005, Ithaca Guns was purchased by the LLC of Upper Sandusky, Ohio, and that's who currently owns Ithaca Firearms. Ithaca Firearms is owned all the way up until today, 2025, by LLC of Upper Sandusky of Ohio, and that's where it became its own company in 2005, and they are currently owned by Dave Bluebeck. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. You guys are gonna correct me in the comments, I'm sure. But as far as the super single 12 gauge goes, it is one of my favorite little beater guns. Go out in the backyard. It's a real smooth chamber opening. I mean, it's had about at least 3,000 rounds through it since I've had it. It's never once jammed on me, never once not ejected a bullet. And this one's unique because if you guys look here, it's not just the ejection spring connected to it, to where whenever you open it, sometimes whenever you break the barrel, this little ejector will come out as you open it, and when you close it, it will go back in before it ever touches the back part of the buttstock and the receiver area. But this one has a spring inside of it that actually starts to push the bullet out as soon, or the shell, excuse me, whenever you guys start opening it. It's a very clean shooting gun, very well made. I have no complaints at all. But that concludes our video today. I know it was a quick little rundown. There's a lot of information crammed into a little 5-6 minute video here. But that is the Ithaca lever action super single. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys back. Let me know if you guys want a quick rundown on any of the other firearms, and if you guys want to know more about this, I will do more research and get my information correct for you guys in order to get you guys the best information.